Yo, what the fuck is going on? Trying to get my shit right. Sorry, fuck all that. Man, what is going on, y'all? How are y'all doing today? Man, I am here trying to get all this shit together, but I got a little show for y'all today, man. So, first things first, man. I want to say this. Some people they get on here and talk, right? A lot of them want y'all to just believe every fucking thing that they be saying and shit. Um, they always right. Everything just whatever they say is correct. There's a lot of arguments, and just a lot of bullshit, man. So I see a lot of people just get on here and they just come in here and they just talk and they talk and they talk and they really don't be talking about nothing. It's just all about talking, just to have something to say. But me, I get on here and I really try and put pieces together. People be saying shit like, why you care so much? Like none of that has nothing to do with you, this, that, and the other. And to me, I think I care because um life fascinates me, right? Um the things that goes on in this world in a natural way, in a natural order, fascinates me. The whole food chain, the whole weather cycle, birds, bees, shit, like from humans to plants, animals, like all the way down to like the smallest bacteria, even parasites. Like everything is just trying to survive, man, just to live. Like, man, that shit really fascinates me, man. It's like the fuck is all this for? But it ain't even about what it's for as much as it's just like shit. Get your one chance, nigga. Live how you gonna live. Motherfucking keep going. It just fascinates me. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't give a fuck about life, but it's like you already gonna die anyway. So what the fuck you rushing it for, man? Do what you gonna do. Live how you gonna live, right? And have fun with it, because you already gotta go anyway. That's one thing that's inevitable, right? That's why I get on here and talk though, because I don't care about fashion or like the hottest shit. Man, that don't really matter. Like I'll be with the entertainment. You'll catch me watching some basketball, some football, laughing and giggling with, some of the rap albums. But as far as taking it serious and like it being my end all be all, like nah, I only care about really what I like and then like what others is doing that I'm interested in. Man, the things that uh, that interest my thoughts. Um, but I don't really want to tell people how they're supposed to live or, you got to be righteous. I'm just saying, have an open mind to the shit. Like a lot of times people just say, this ain't got nothing to do with me, or just let's look at how it affects you, man. Look at how you may have to continue paying taxes even if you move to another country, which is something crazy to me. How do I got to continue paying America taxes if I move out of another country? But that's a whole nother story, though, man. Just open your mind, man, and see. All in all, fuck what people think, man. If you think the things that I speak on don't affect you, honestly, I ain't talking to you. Shit, fuck you. Um, and really, to the ones that's listening, I probably don't be having all the answers, man. But I promise you, I'm gonna put you on the right path to where you will figure something out. I may not give you the full answer, but I'll show you a way. You can go from there. Like I'm positive. With that being said, man, I want to show some love to the homie Nanner B, man. So go ahead and roll this video of my girl Nanner B's comeback oils. Also, shout out to Ashley. in her
This commercial was brought to you by Podcast Lit. Are your edges and hair thinning out? Your roots not as strong as they should be? Then go ahead and order Nanner Beats Comeback Hair Oil. I promise you won't be disappointed. And again, thank you for tuning in to Podcast Lit.
This commercial was brought to you by Podcast Lit. Do you suffer from dry skin, or have you been looking for an all-natural product to hydrate your skin? Check out the Juicy Bliss Duo, the Juicy Couture inspired body butter and body scrub combo. This combo scent lasts over 8 hours and will help your skin maximize that glow. If you're interested in our product, visit www.AuthenticSassyHumble.com.
can't believe that I was on on mute the whole time, just sitting there talking. All right, it's crazy as fuck. But look, we on the politically incorrect segment, man, and pretty much, man, this is gonna be about evil, right? And I'm seeing that evil runs the world, right? And I'm also finding out that God approves the world being evil. The reason that I figured that out is because I've looked up and I looked into some things, right? Where did I put that at? Let me just do it like this. Damn, I just had all of it right here. My shit closed out, but it's cool though, man. So pretty much, there's a few places in the Bible that states that the devil pretty much or Satan pretty much runs this world. You can go to 2 Corinthians 4:4, where Jesus refers to Satan as the ruler of the world. You can go to John 12:31 and see that the judgment of this world, now the ruler of this world will need to be cast out. So, who is the ruler of this world that needs to be cast out is obviously not Jesus. Places in the Bible where it talks about Jesus coming back to save everybody. Um, so we pretty much know that the world is ran by evil, right? The Bible describes Satan as the ruler of this world, right? However, we all know that God got all the power. Um, and so from a spiritual time aspect of it, the angels could have left yesterday, right? In our human time, we move whatever, revolve around the sun or whatever, but in the spiritual aspect of it, that shit could have just happened yesterday. Like they could have just got into it a couple days ago or something. Like, God could have completed the earth and made that. Like the way time work in the spiritual realm, man, this shit could only been like 2 days, that happened. So when us sitting here talking about that, I think that's why we say we don't know when Jesus coming back to save us from all this evil shit or whatever, man. And honestly, from the shit that I've been reading into and the shit that I've been looking into, man, Jesus is probably the only way to go, man. But that's a whole nother story, man. I ain't finna get deeper into that. But I do want to say this though, man. The reason I'm speaking on evil is because some people look at evil like, oh, you done murder somebody, or you done harm somebody, or you done hurt somebody. But I really think that there's a point where we have to like really look in the mirror, you know what I'm saying, and man up and take accountability for the shit that we do. We have to hold ourselves responsible. And then we have to fix it by like not continuing to do the bullshit um that we've been doing, right? And it's like if you're not able to accept your part in any of those roles that may have played that's been bullshit, to me, you're pretty much evil. You do some bullshit and then you play victim and act like somebody else is the problem, or you try and bring that person down because you fucked up. That's some evil shit, and that shit happens a lot. That shit happens a lot. Like, just so you can save face and shit, man. Um, Also on the side note, man, I did something. I was sitting here typing in my notes. Um, and my computer wanted me to capitalize Satan. But then when I typed in God, it was like it was spelled correctly. I typed in Lucifer, it wanted me to capitalize it. I typed in God once, it's cool. That's crazy. Um, but yeah, it comes to a point. So before I get into us trying to figure out how to look in the mirror, I do want to say that we have been blaming other people for our downfall. We looking at this DEI situation and they're not gonna hire us, but why are we begging for their jobs anyways? We don't got nothing we can do with each other. Like we can't make this shit help with each other. Um, I seen this video where this white man was pretty much asking for forgiveness, and he can pretty much speak it better than me. So I want you guys to take a look at this video.
To my black brothers and sisters across this country, I'm sorry. I'm asking for your forgiveness because I see it. I see men like me rolling back the protections for equal employment rights that you fought centuries for. I saw it yesterday as we incarcerated a generation of your children and then profited off of their unfair sentences. I saw it in the history books as men who looked just like me imprisoned and shackled people who looked just like you and then built a nation off of the backs of your ancestors' labor. My seat at the table of privilege gives me the ability to easily ignore the scraps of food that fall on the floor that you have to fight for. Professional cowardice is a learned behavior, and because my rights are handed to me on a silver platter in this country, I can say and do whatever I want, which includes being complicit through silence and inaction. For too long, I've carried your cause in my heart and shook my head disapprovingly as the bad things happened, all the while knowing that I was going to be just fine. I can't do that anymore. And I'm not asking for praise or adoration, I'm asking for direction. Help me understand how to fight for you. Give me the words to say. Give me the places to march. There are plenty of us that need to be emboldened by what you know, that need to have a fire lit in our souls that will cause us to speak up, not for our own justice, but for yours. So please continue to look men like me in the eye and say the things that need to be said, because for every one of us that would oppress you, there are those of us that want to liberate you. And I understand it may sound disingenuous. You don't know me, I don't know you, but I care. And I'm asking for your forgiveness because my inaction has contributed to your plight. But I'm here now.
So with that, in my eyes, I would always accept the apology or something like that, but I wouldn't feel like there's an apology needed, because one thing that's not publicized is the black people who actually was rising, and another thing that's not publicized is the white people who was helping. So you can see that it's a divide or an attempt to divide all of us amongst each other. But I have to speak to the black people that I want to be around and talk to and be around and be with. I feel like we have to understand that we kind of destroyed ourselves. And I know I was really a part of that. The way I was coming up, the things I was doing, I wasn't thinking about shit. I wasn't thinking about doing shit. So I helped destroy us in a sense. Like, I didn't bring nothing to the table. And also, I gave all the white men credit. Like, the white man hold me back. Um, and in return, I give him power, right? He the reason for my downfall. But then I started realizing, like, I'm the reason for my downfall. And I started looking at people that I was around and was like, we the reason for our downfall. And I know everybody that I was around doesn't accumulate for everybody, but everywhere I go, when I get around my people, I see sort of similar shit, man. And it hurts because it's like, bro, y'all can't see. Like how can we blame another race for our problems after we received the knowledge? I can see we were still ignorant. You know, we didn't know what was going on. But at this point, it's like, man, this shit right in our faces, and we still um act like we don't know or blame the other race. And I think that what's more important to us is bullshit, right? Who got this? Who got what? Even the successful blacks, like I think it's still about material and who owns. I mean, I ain't gonna say own nothing because we all don't own anything, but just like who, what, just is more important to us. Like I got into it with a podcaster recently, and people were hitting me up about it, and I'm like, they hit me up so much about this podcast bullshit, but when my family was going through shit, nobody hit me up. It's like they're so worried about this and that, but they ain't even worried about when a motherfucker fucked up, you know. Um, then I clear the shit up, right? I end up clearing the shit up, and after I cleared the shit up, people telling me I shouldn't entertain the shit, right? And it's like, even just in that little small aspect of life, you see how it's like you're not gonna win. It's the same folks that's asking you what's going on, the same folks that's gonna ask you, tell you not to even entertain it after you clear it up. But you gotta clear it up first, right? You gotta indulge in it some way in order to clear your name, right? Or whatever, man. But I shouldn't have entertained that shit. And that's why we don't argue with fools, right? Because people from the distance can't tell who is who. With that being said, man, I am definitely a little proud to be an American, regardless of what's going on with this Trump situation and this Democrats and Kamala shit, DEI and releasing the files and all that other shit, man. I'm still proud to be an American, man. I'm starting to see like we becoming a third world country daily from seeing new clips and stuff and information from people from around the world. I hear they protesting for us. I don't know why though. They protesting for us around the world. They're protesting for us. Um, And I don't know. I don't think they want us to know everything. Like, I just don't think they want us to know too much, which is why we being censored in the media and the news around the world anyway, because they don't want us to know shit. We pretty much just some motherfucking workers in this bitch. We just a manufacturing company in here, man. Like, especially when you look more into your birth certificate and social security number, man, you realize that you just born to be a worker. Like, you born in debt. You born just to work for these motherfuckers, man. Even school. But regardless, it's like who the fuck agreed that the color red was red? Like we just accepted that color red is red, I guess. You know what I'm saying? This shit is wild to me, man. But what is evil to me, man? You know, I think that evil is the need to fulfill yourself. Um, and then we get independent thinking, right? All this independent thinking to me is a little evil because like who really do anything by themselves, right? Like a lot of motherfuckers say they did shit on their own, and it's like, no, you didn't. Then how you do anything on your own? Like, oh, I did it on by myself. Like, so I'm like, what do you mean by that? They like, I did it without a handout, but it's like you still depending on someone, right? Like you depending on that job to be there, you depending on your manager to hire you, depending on that interviewer, the daycare center, your mama to babysit, your dad to babysit, your manager, you know, the nigga who gave you the bird, the nigga that dropped the bird off, the nigga to bring the bird to you, however you looking at you, always gonna be looking and depending on somebody, man. And I looked up the word independent, just to be clear on what it meant. And it says free from outside control and not dependent on others' authority. So in my eyes, that's like a homeless person, right? Like they don't have to worry about no rent, no bills. If they ain't got no car, they ain't got to worry about no gas, no emissions. Shit, they barely even have to answer to anybody except they can't be sleeping on anybody's property. And now every fucking piece of grass in the world is public. So it's fucked up for them because it's like, how the fuck can you lock up a person for being homeless, right? Sound evil to me, especially when who the fuck the world belong to? That shit sound like it's evil to me. How the fuck can you cut off people's water during wildfires? Heard that shit happened in Maui And that shit happened in motherfucking California just recently, which fire still going on. How the fuck can you charge hundreds of dollars for bullshit that you only pay $1 or $2 for? Like, it don't even cost that much for y'all to make half of this shit, but y'all charges and just like force us to pay it. And then just for just regular down to earth people, like how the fuck you know you wrong or did something wrong and don't feel any remorse. That shit evil, man. But you know what? We're gonna move off of this evil shit, man. We're gonna move on to the news, man, because there's a lot of evil in this world, man. I just want y'all to be careful, man. Pay attention, stay vigilant, and we're gonna rock out. We're gonna be all right, man. On to the news, brother. On to the news, man. So see how we doing this here. Mass deportation, all right. They come to get all these illegal people, man. Regardless if you're good or bad, if you're connected with the cartel or MS-13, any type of way they come to get you. They going in schools. They said that they know that there are 13 to 17-year-old kids that are a part of the Mexican cartel or MS-13. They gonna be coming in the kids' schools, getting them. They also talking about if you turn them in, 7,000 a person. That's crazy. So y'all need to lay low, man, because they on y'all heads, bro. Trump giving North Carolina victims homes. It's crazy because it's like, how come the last folks didn't do that shit? But he out there giving them people homes for the catastrophes they done had. He's also letting Carolina victims rebuild their homes instead of waiting months for state-paid contractors. So that's fire, you know, because it's like, you know how long those people could take, especially by the state. They could take forever, 2-3 months. So that's fire. You letting them people do what they gotta do. He also removes DEI, which is crazy. Everybody's so mad and worried that they're not gonna be able to get that job with that white man. They're not gonna hire me because I'm black. They're not gonna let me in. It's like we just need to come together. I mean, shit. We already know they're gonna play us anyway, so why we even tripping about getting their job? As soon as we get in their job, racism here, file a complaint. Like, we just need to get the fuck away from them motherfuckers that don't want us to be around. Like, why are people consistently trying to be around motherfuckers that don't want you around? Like, find your crowd, right? I don't think the DEI was gonna help us any fucking ways, man. But I do say him saying he gonna make Martin Luther King's dream come true again. That makes me something to look out for, though. There's some new fires in Southern California. So shout out to them. There's also footage of people intentionally lighting those fires. So go check that out, man. I don't know what people want. It's just some weird evil shit in this world. Don Julio and Popeyes are doing a connection on January 31st. I don't know how the fuck that's gonna work, but that sounds like they clone Tyrone. Like, why the fuck are you mixing liquor and motherfucking chicken? Sounds like they're trying to have us fucked up out here. Who knows? We also got Minute Maid, zero sugar lemonade recalled because it has 40 grams of sugar. See what he's talking about. Oh, they want us to they want as many bodies as possible in prison. They excuse it away by saying that prison is 3 hots in the cot, so it's better to be in prison. Okay, that's crazy because it's like 3 hots in the cot instead of being outside. Then you can make our license plates and all this other shit. Because when you start seeing how many companies is connected to these prisons, you start realizing, like, damn, these motherfuckers making our shit that we out here buying this shit. DEI is much more than hiring black people. Just wait till white people figure it out, man. It's definitely about if I want you. Seriously, it's like it doesn't even have to do with your color. It's like, I don't like you because your hair look like this, or I don't want you working because we're wearing the clothes this way. It's gonna get serious. So, but I still think that we need to come together regardless, though, right? I think that we need to not worry about them and their DEI and just worry about our own shit so we can be out here handling our business. Snoop criticized by fans for switching up and doing a Donald Trump show at the Coon speech to all of us. Can you play that video for?
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first? Osby's the one that performs for himself. About noon, just thought that I had to be in conscience. Come on, take it before the day begins, before my mother starts bitching about my feelings for the dog. She coming down, you is mine. Young niggas at the past, throwing no gas up.
Now, ain't it funny how people change like Easter Sunday? You know, church fit and outfit. I don't know what the fuck is the what it is behind this. I don't. I don't know why he decided to switch up like that. Maybe he just forgot he smoked a lot of weed. I don't know, but he receiving a lot of controversy for that. So Snoop, I don't know if he even explained. I ain't even really go look into it to see if he explained. But Snoop, that was crazy though, man. To call people coons and shit for going to rock with dude, then you go and do a show with him. Respect to the president though. A-Shape, UAP footage. Whistleblower claims we are not alone, man. I got the little video right here, man. Check this out.
News Nation working to uncover the mystery in our skies, revealing brand new video of an alleged UFO retrieval. Take a look at your screen. Footage that was never before seen until last night's special report, going viral today. A white egg-like object with no visible propulsion system or engine. Whistleblower Jake Barber sitting down with our News Nation special correspondent Ross Coulthard, breaking down shocking claims about an alleged UFO crash retrieval program. And for years, people like David Grush and Lou Elizondo have alleged the existence of such a program. But now this decorated Air Force veteran says he knows it's true because he was a part of it. The whistleblower claiming he was contracted as a helicopter pilot to retrieve all kinds of crashed craft. He says some of non-human origin. Those experiences affecting his life to this day, he says. And he is not the only one, with multiple others trained at the elite levels of the U.S. military. Also,
Man, listen. Yeah, Snoop definitely might have been black, man. Ain't no telling. He was over there in France. I seen the beginning of that USA motherfucking Olympic shit. That shit was crazy. I should check that out. But yeah, so we always say, I mean, egg-shaped footage. So I guess they here, man. They probably already been here, though, man. We'll tell them they just holding back. What do we really want? What the fuck are we going to do if they admit they have aliens locked up? I don't think that they have aliens locked up, though, Miss Michelle. I think that they already here. I think that they, how can I say? I think that they like trying to slowly inject themselves into humanity by saying, look, and then turn around and show us a couple of their homies and be like, they cool. And then they can come out that uniform that they've been in. You know what I'm saying? I think that they the world leaders for real. Then they just trying to figure out a way to introduce themselves to us without us freaking out, maybe. I don't know. That's the only reason I could see to let us know that they've been running the show this whole trip. Russian scientist injects himself with 3.5 million year old bacteria. He's still alive and claims he feels good. Hasn't even been sick since he took it. That's crazy. And last but not least, phones with TikTok apps on them are selling for $25,000. I thought about selling my shit, but I ain't gonna look into it though, so I don't know. But I do know that they are selling those phones on eBay and across other sites. I think one sold for like 50,000. So that was wild. That was wild. They want TikTok that bad, but they probably was making bread off of that shit though. So you know what I'm saying? I ain't making no money off of it, man. I might sell this motherfucking iPhone. It's a 14, so they might take that bitch for 25. Whatever. So on to the next, man. That was the news. If you give a fuck, man, and we are on to wacky conspiracy theories. It's gonna be short, man. We're gonna talk a little bit about Project Blue Bling, right? Project Blue Bling, right? So what she say? I bet bacteria is better than the food we eat. I bet it probably is, man. So Project Bluebeam, man, the goal for Project Bluebeam is to create a one world government, right? So pretty much what they'll do is they'll create some chaos, faking alien invasions. Oh, we just got done talking about that, finding eggs and shit, right? Or some kind of catastrophic event where they have to put a show in the sky, right? They might drop a couple bombs or whatever, but the rest of it gonna be a show, right? And you're gonna look at it as a show, and you're gonna see airplanes flying through. I don't think you saw something, you probably ain't seen nothing but a holographic picture, right? And pretty much once they cause all this and nobody has no connection to nothing, then they throw all these holographs in the air, and here comes Jesus. You have to remember though, they give us tech after they master it, right? So like when we get in all these games and shit, like they've been working on GTA for all these years, so they obviously had it. Once we get it, they probably gonna be working on the next GTA. They're gonna be tired of that GTA. They're gonna update it as much as they want, but for the next most part, they be on working on tech before way longer than they give it to us. So I don't put Project Bluebeam that far beyond mine, right? Here's a video of
Look at you mortals. Come by. If you
what the fuck? How the fuck y'all even able to do shit like that, man? How the fuck are they even able to do shit like that? But imagine what they could do with that, right? If they wanted to cause chaos, like imagine just waking up outside and seeing some shit like that in the sky, man. That shit is fucking nigga up. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if I'll be able to tell if it's real or fake, but I have another video that I just want to watch real quick. Just a couple people speaking on Project Bluebeam as well, just to give y'all a little bit more insight on how it could possibly work. Roll that for me, bro.
Let's talk about Project Bluebeam. Can you describe what that is?
Well, that's another subculture term that's been attached to a series of projects that involve what the Pentagon, what they call a deceptive indication and warning, or a false INW, which is a false flag. And it's the ability to stage, through very advanced technologies, an alien attack or an alien event. And it's a whole series of them. Now, what most people don't know about, since late 50s, early 60s, like the Barney Hill case and all that, those were all human assets abducting innocent people made to look alien. And so that psychological warfare was authorized in 1953, 54. 1954, we mastered gravity control. So we started deploying these assets to begin to condition the public that there's a scary threat from outer space. I mean, look at Hollywood, Alien, Ridley Scott's the movies. If you want to see a script for what's coming fairly soon, look at the movie Independence Day. Okay. It's right out of central casting for this covert group. So what their whole purpose is to create sort of a global militarized totalitarian superstate of the world fighting another world. It's like War of the Worlds.
So Trump, got some shit, one world government. Yeah, okay, that's possible if they get rid of 7 billion, at least 7 billion people. No one's going for that. I don't know, man. I seen they had this girl, man. They got this thing called damn, what the fuck is it called? It's pretty much where you remember seeing something and then they say it's not that. Damn, what's the word for it? Like the Malaysian effect. What the fuck is it called? I don't know. But she pretty much was going crazy saying that the fruit of balloon symbol had one of them corneas on it, like. But I guess now it don't have it. And then Fruit of Balloon was saying like they never had the cornea on the end of their fruit. Like, so on the symbol for the Fruit of Balloon, it has the fruit hanging out of the cornea with it. But now the new Fruit of Balloons, the Fruit of Balloon symbols just had a fruit on it, right? No cornea. And she was going crazy saying she remember it. Even Fruit of Balloon came out talking about they never did it before and shit like that. But then she found some pants or something like that and ended up cracking it or whatever. But I think that what they were saying was that media is doing some type of Mandela effect. There we go. The Mandela effect is definitely what it is. So pretty much what they're saying is media is doing the Mandela effect because they want to see if they could play with people's minds and shit, right? And see how much they can have us trip out and shit. It all be like some type of psyche effect. Like they try and mess with your mind and just see how people gonna react to certain shit, man. And so even with the Mandela effect, they playing along with it, like switching shit, removing shit, just to see how people's gonna react to it or whatever. But who's gonna rule? Honestly, I couldn't tell you that. I think that it just all depends on who got the best AI system. Like, you know what I'm saying? I really think it depends on who got the most bombs. Like whoever got the when they come to the table and see, I don't know, man. That's a good question. Who gonna rule? That's a great question. I never sat back and thought about that. But again, you have the Antichrist bullshit. I don't know. So maybe they all sit at the table and control it like they've been controlling it, but now they have us thinking that this person is the most powerful, like they do with the president. Publishers Clearinghouse and Eggman too. They're saying it right. See, I even remember was Sinbad saying that he didn't do the Shazam, or was it Shazam? I know Shaq had did the one of them did Shazam, one of them did Shaq. I don't know. They both did a Shazam though. So Sinbad was trying to say he didn't, but then somebody found the movie, then he finally agreed to it. So it's like they be playing with our minds, man. But yeah, man. So Project Bluebeam definitely Earth is that. The Project Bluebeam is definitely some crazy shit. So just be careful what you see. Is pretty much what I'm trying to say, man. Don't believe all of what you hear. Don't believe what you see either, because that shit could be fake as well, man. And with that being said, that was just our wacky conspiracy the other day, man. I didn't want to go through too much of that shit because I started like getting too deep into that shit, like I always do. So we ain't gonna flood this whole show with conspiracies. We're gonna do some twisted history, man. We're gonna do a slice of history with a little bit of twist, right? So I have something for you guys that I want you guys to see. Hold on. Now I love talking to women, man. Especially intelligent, educated women. Um, I really do love talking to them. I love listening to them. I love learning from them. So I learned something from this black woman from TikTok, and I always like to share her shit. She is Her name is Fine as Slim Jim. I used her before on my show before, but I always learn from her because she always doing a lot way deeper research than I can go to. And then I love listening to her because she be serious with her shit. So I want y'all to check her out. Listen at this.
Let's keep running it. Today we're going to be talking about Elizabeth Jennings Graham, y'all. For those of you that don't know who Elizabeth Jennings Graham is, she was basically Rosa Parks 100 years before Rosa Parks even was born, y'all. So yes, that means she stood up to segregation back then during slavery. This is when slavery was still going on, but she was just where slavery wasn't at, okay? But segregation was there. In 1954, Elizabeth Jennings Graham took a stand against slavery in a taxi. So back then they would call them like streetcars, but it was a whites only taxi, y'all. I'm gonna say taxi because that's what we know. It was a white only taxi. She took a stand against segregation. They told her to get up out of there. She stayed her butt right on up in there. Now, sadly, she did get arrested because of that, but she stood her ground. And she also filed a lawsuit and won, y'all. Not only did she file a lawsuit and win, she ended up being one of the first Black women in New York City to take part in desegregation acts, like trying to fight for the rights for desegregation. She literally set the stone for Rosa Parks, okay? She ran so Rosa could walk, okay, baby? And that is why I will never get over slavery, y'all, because it's just too much that went down during that time.
Correct, man. I hate when motherfuckers talk about get over some shit. Like I can't get over some shit. And I damn sure can't forget about people who really was like out here, like fuck what y'all talking about, trying to hold us down. They always try and make it seem like we just bowed the fuck down. And that shit right there irritates the fuck out of me. I get so tired of that's your great aunt. That's fire. When I was thinking, my sister had sent me a picture of my great grandmother. Let me see, it was my grandma. Her mom was Kay. Then her mom, so that's my grandma, great grandma. She sent me a picture of my great grandma. My great grandma was born in 1905, and the picture that she sent me had my grandmother, who was about 6, 7 years old. So I'm looking at both of them like, damn, what a time they had to like live. Like, how can we overlook that shit? Like, how can we just sit here and say that ain't got nothing to do with us or that's like, bro, the shit them they was going through back there. Oh man, I'm fucking around and get mad. I don't want to get mad though, but it was some strong ones back there that makes me more appreciative of what they went through, because a lot of times you hear people say, "Oh, they was some whole ass niggas. They let it happen." No, the fuck they didn't. They just don't publicize the people who were actually standing up. Also, let's talk about why prisons were created. Again, another black woman giving me some information. I love black women because they are so in detail with their shit and their studies, man. So I got another video from another black woman who's speaking on why.
This is going to be really hard for me to talk about, so bear with me. It's finna get dark in here. We are going to talk about the dark history on why jails were created. In 1863, African American slaves were freed. They thought things were great, but they really just got backstabbed. Now, as you know, in 1861 and 1865, the American Civil War happened. During the Civil War, roughly 179,000 black men fought in the Civil War. They fought in the war because they thought America would look out for them, which ultimately made them worried, because now how do we keep these people in control? The government needed a way to create peace, to keep the white people happy, but also take care of the African American citizens that just got freed. Before the 1890s, where they started the Prison Act, jails and prisons tend to look like houses. Some like this. After the American Civil War, the number of U.S. penitentiaries in the South and West spiked. So, who y'all finna put in there? After this, a lot of African Americans were locked up. Their inmates population surpassed 30,000. By 1880s, African Americans became the major inmates. They were backstabbed. You're telling me that they helped fight the war and then they were falsely imprisoned to do more labor? Convicts, who were originally slaves, dug levees, laid railroad tracks, picked cotton and mined coals for private companies and planters. Mostly false imprisonment, or doing more time than they deserved. Innocent man locked up for 37 years. 1944, George Steeny, 14-year-old, electrocuted, and he was innocent. We're still living in this dark history, and Joe Biden played a part in it. Your president signed a crime bill, what was one of the key contributions to mass incarcerations in 1990s, especially hurting blacks and brown Americans. African Americans, they were never really freed. It just was switched. Black people were never given equality. Let's just clear that up. African Americans have been fighting for decades for equality from the government. Everybody be safe out there.
Like, seriously, be safe out there, because it's like, are we not seeing this shit still going on today, or are we just gonna overlook it and act like that shit only happened back then? Then are we gonna let this shit slide after realizing that, nigga, these motherfuckers really, really had to fight for us to even be able to sit here? And I apologize for calling them motherfuckers. That's my ignorance and low education. But these people really had to fight for us to be able to sit here, which I should even be apologizing more, because I'm in a position to get an education. They weren't even allowed to read and write. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I really need to be like more accountable on my own end. I think that we all need to be more accountable on our own ends. So with that being said, the justice system always try and bring us down. I have something else about slavery, which is crazy, because this question right here, if I was this slave, I wonder if life would be that bad, man. This man's name was, or I don't know if this was his name, but I think he was known as Patasika. But play that video for me, man.
This slave was forced to breed multiple women and had over 200 children. This is Roque Jose Florencio, more popularly known by his nickname Pataseca. Now, he was born in Angola and brought over to Brazil as a child through slavery. Now, Pataseca was 2 meters and 18 centimeters tall, which is roughly around 7'2". He had a very muscular build, and most importantly, he was obedient. And because his owners believed his children would be just like him, he was given the task of impregnating multiple enslaved African women so they could bear obedient, muscular, tall, mini versions of himself. And at the time of his death in 1958, he had fathered over 200 children. For more content like this, make sure to follow Faster Speaks.
Yeah, so that's wild. Like, how the fuck are you a breeder? You gotta fuck all these women, like, but at that time you don't know nothing else, right? So that's only your job. Everybody outside picking cotton, you in the back fucking all the bitches. I ain't gonna call them bitches, but damn, like, they was breeding us, bro. Like, who is animals and shit, man? But I guess if I was that slave, I probably wouldn't have been that mad about it. Maybe. I mean, you probably just wore out too, man. But that's crazy, man. And last but not least, man, on our slice of history, Heartbreak Day. Heartbreak Day. Man, oh man, oh man. So that's the real New Year's. New Year's Eve was a day. They say people don't realize how recent slavery was. They focus on being date, not the end date. The being date, not the end date. Like she said, it never ended completely, just changed up. Oh, so this man was the original baby daddy. He probably wasn't complaining. I'm sorry, that's not right. He probably wasn't complaining. Like he probably was happy as hell. Um, but Heartbreak Day, that's the real New Year's, right? So pretty much us, well, the enslaved people all got together on New Year's Eve, right? And they got together on New Year's Eve because, and they spent a lot of time together because on New Year's Day, it was auction day for them. So they didn't know if they was gonna stay, have to pay for their whatever taxes. I don't even know how they was getting taxed, but they had to pay their masters or stay. Didn't know if their kids was gonna get sold. That was New Year's Day for a lot of our ancestors and brothers and sisters, man. So just remember that. When you about to celebrate New Year's, they was selling us. That was their New Year's. And with that being done, we're done with that being said, we're done with Twisted History, man. We're gonna talk a little bit about parenting and then we're gonna get the fuck out of here, man. Because I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much longer, man. So we're gonna do some parenting ultimatums, man. I got 5 children, man. One of them about to be 18 next month. We got a 16-year-old in May, a 14-year-old tomorrow, an 8-year-old that just turned 8 on the 24th on Friday. This Friday that just passed. And then I have a 10-year-old that's about to be 11 in July, man. So I got a lot of children, but I don't have that many. I could have had more, but these ones is already enough as far as mental, right? Um, but what we need to do is we need to let these kids go through their own shit, right? And I find myself faulting myself sometimes. I'm like, man, what the fuck did I do, man? Was I wrong? Did I teach them wrong? And a lot of times I probably did because this shit don't come with no handbook. Say that often, and there's no excuse to it, but I didn't know how to be a father. I just did what I thought was right, right? And after you sit back and think about it, some of the things you do may not be the best thing, but I don't feel like I messed them with that much. My kids are very intelligent, they smart, they have manners, they respectful. But I do know we need to let them figure it out, and just continue doing what we know is right. And we just need to plant the seed and then work on ourselves, right? These kids today feel like we got an obligation to fulfill their wants, but we don't. We only have to do what they need, and then you get what you want when you work for it. And a lot of times people get what they want to set them up, la la la. But that's not how they work. That's not how it works because that's where you send them out here into this world, and that's how they act. You can't get what you want, and if you only know that you can get what you want from home, that's all you know. Then you don't step outside and believe the same fucking thing, and then you're gonna find yourself in a state of depression, right? So we need to start this shit at home and let them know they can't get what they want. Um, or at least until they legally able to get it on their own, goddamn me. Kids, they most likely won't leave the house until around 2025, 22 to 25, right? They shouldn't really leave the house. And really a son shouldn't leave the house until he's able to take care of a family. Like a man shouldn't let his son leave the house. I don't care about him being 18. A man shouldn't let his son leave the house until he's able to take care of a family. Like, and a daughter shouldn't leave the house until whatever man she's dealing with is able to provide and protect her more than you are as a father or y'all are as a family. I got your ultimatum in my back pocket. Do it. Right, that's the for you. These kids are spoiled and the world is eating them alive. Facts. So you definitely got to be rough with them. They always talk, I don't take away from the titles because I've been living with depression for like 10, 12 years, dog. I've been living with that shit, but I've been beating it. But it's like, I feel like the government or these doctors have came up with a way to title everything. That way we can um, have something to excuse our bullshit, right? Uh, and it's like at the end of the day, you didn't know that you had this until a motherfucker told you. So you get mad about this, you get mad about that. Then motherfucker, oh, you're bipolar. Oh, okay, then I can do this because I'm bipolar. They said I'm bipolar. So, and then next thing you know, another motherfucker like, well, shit, I think I'm bipolar too. Can I? And next thing you know, it's just a long line of motherfuckers talking about they bipolar and let you say something about them, and you mental health is real. And I think a lot of motherfuckers just using that shit as an excuse. Motherfucker, you know what the fuck you doing. Same with these goddamn kids. They be knowing what the fuck they be doing. They be acting like they don't. They know what the fuck they doing. And I ain't taking none of that shit as no motherfucking excuse, right? So, therefore, my daughters, I don't want them to leave the house until they leave with a person, a man that is going to be able to provide and protect them more than I can. But them motherfuckers got a smart ass mouth. They can get the fuck out. Simple. I'll benefit them as much as I can. But if you're not going to benefit me, 18, 11:59, 17 years old, 11:59, nigga, your birthday. It's time for you to go. Day before your birthday at 11:59 p.m., nigga, your bag's packed, door be open. Now, with that being said, just let them kids go through some shit, get through some shit, and that's how they gonna understand this shit, amen. So with that being said, I want to thank y'all for watching, man. I want to shout out my brother DC for being in the background moderating my shit. Shout out What the Shit, shout out Fresh Zone, shout out Trey Glue, shout out Tierra in the comments. Tierra, when I said Tierra, Michelle, Michelle in the comments. Tara, so you know I'm finna have this camera. Little 4K camera, ain't nothing, little $200 camera, ain't shit for real. I'm finna give it away though, right? So you fuck around, be the only person to get it if you want it. I don't know though. I gotta figure out how to give it away though. But yeah, that's definitely what I'm going to do. What she say? 88 is the biggest crack of shit. They made it up for badass kids that popped up and they stopped letting us play outside. Man, listen. So yes, man. We gotta start with the excuses with these kids, man. Shout out DC, shout out with the shit, shout out Fresh Zone, shout out all y'all, man. Camera giveaway coming soon. Keep y'all motherfucking heads up. That's it for me right now. Keep y'all motherfucking hands up. Keep moving, man. Till then, we out.